Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto markets. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss the CFTC greenlighting crypto prediction markets. We're going to talk about Troll acquiring the IP rights to their underlying meme and which buttons we are clicking this week. GM, thank you all for listening. If you're listening on Spaces, give us a like, give us a bookmark, give us a comment. What do you want us to talk about today? What tokens are you looking at? Give us a retweet if you're feeling generous. Push this out there in the algorithm. If you're on YouTube, we love our YouTubers. You can watch now on our YouTube. The link is going to be pinned up on the space. See what we're talking about live in real time. If you're in YouTube, give us some comments. Give us some chatting. We'll pull up your comments on screen. We'll talk about what's going on in the crypto market today. GM, I'm joined here by, I was joined by Sig as well, but I'm joined by Easy now. Sig will probably be back. She's having some connection issues. Easy, how you feeling this morning?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm pumped. I got somebody coming to my house to take pictures today. Our house is pristine and clean. It hasn't been this way since we moved in. I don't even know if it was ever this way before. So I'm feeling pretty nice, all alone in an empty house that's nice and clean.
It's got to be a good feeling. When did you move? Did you already move?
No, we got to sell our house and buy our new house. So November 1st-ish will be when I'm moving to the new house. That's the plan. That's the plan here. We got a lot to talk about today. Before we do, we're going to kick it off with a word from one of our favorite sponsors. That is Gemini. This show is brought to you in partnership with Gemini. Bodogos.com/Gemini today to get signed up for their credit card. Did you know that your credit card points and miles can lose value due to inflation while they collect dust? Credit card companies often reduce the redemption value of your points and miles over time. Now imagine a credit card with rewards that can grow in value. With the Gemini credit card, you can earn Bitcoin or one of over 50 other cryptocurrencies instantly with, get this, no annual fee. Every swipe at the store, gas pump earns you instant rewards deposited straight into your Gemini account. Plus, sign up now, $50 worth of Bitcoin. Kickstart your rewards. Bodogos.com/Gemini today. They've got a new card here you can apply for. If you're part of the XRP army, they released their XRP edition credit card. Also, Gemini's been crushing it on the mobile wallet side. Nick's doing a little bit of a giveaway. If you want to go to Choose Rich on Twitter, check out his Twitter page. He's giving away $1,000 worth of an ETH meme coin, courtesy of Gemini Wallet. If you want to sign up for the wallet, onchain.gemini.com, you can earn yield instantly in their wallet through their earn program. This will be a good way to have sort of like a trusted party custodying your DeFi. DeFi made easy. So if you're somebody who doesn't want to get into all these LPs and deposit in these loops and yields, you just want something simple, the Gemini wallet might be what you are looking for. So check them out, onchain.gemini.com for their wallet, bodogos.com/Gemini for the credit card. We love working with Gemini. Top-notch products in the crypto space. We've got Signal back. Signal, how you doing?
Sorry about that, guys. Internet's been fine all day. Obviously, about to start the podcast and the internet gremlins come out. So I've had to change location where I end up looking like some kind of witness protection program with just a blank wall behind me. But I'm good. Connection is good. Audio is good. So sorry. No, sorry for no crispy image today.
Oh, it's all good, Sig. As long as we have you on, we are happy. We'll go through the weather report here. We have Kurt803 asking about the Gemini IPO. Are we aping it? And our thoughts. So news came out. They're raising, I think, $370 million at a $2.2 billion valuation for the Gemini IPO. I'm not sure when they're going to launch it, but it should be interesting. And that seems like an affordable valuation compared to some of these other companies out there. So one I'm going to be watching for sure. And I'm sure we'll be talking about more as we approach that date. That being said, you have the weather report up on this new setup, Sig. You ready to rock?
Yeah, the new setup with no music. Yeah, I've got it ready right in front of us. Let's get into it. If you can get some music, let's get onto it. It's Thursday. It's September the 4th. Let's look at that crypto roundup. The majors, they've chopped on the day. You got Bitcoin just under 111,000, Ethereum at 4,400, and Solana at 208, with Hype chopping at 46. Over the past 24 hours, top three stories. Well, firstly, the CFTC's Division of Market Oversight and the Division of Clearing and Risk announced that they have taken a no action position regarding swap data reporting and record keeping regulations for Polymarket. Basically, the TLDR is they've given green light to their US operations. That's what that bit means, which means they're going to pave the way forward for more crypto-based prediction markets to operate in the US. Next up, it was a roller coaster of a day for the American Bitcoin as it entered the Nasdaq. The Trump-backed Bitcoin mining and treasury company was halted multiple times before closing up 15% to $8 per share. And then lastly, finally, it was a bullish day for memes as the troll meme coin acquired IP rights for their underlying troll meme. The Pump Fund launched token is up over 15% on the day to 185 million market cap. That is all for the weather report, folks. It is back to you in the studio.
Excellent weather report as always, Signal. Lot to unpack there, a lot to break down. Easy. You got to be pretty excited about this Polymarket news, right?
Man, fuck them.
I saw you crashing out over Polymarket.
I'm
what
filing
happened?
a class action lawsuit against them.
What happened with your
second
Polymarket?
they get into the U.S. markets? Class action, Ray. I got my lawyer ICO beast on the case. Class action immediately.
So, tell me what happened.
They had a title for a market that was incorrect from the wording of the rules. So it was, will MicroStrategy buy Bitcoin during these given dates? They did. The rules say, will they announce it within those dates? So fine print got the best of me. Went on a full crash out. Obviously, I'm still trading these markets. I've found some very interesting markets now. I am excited for it in the US, obviously. But dude, I'm just finding more opportunity, to be honest here. Like, my favorite market right now is nothing ever happens. And not that specific market, but just the idea of it. So, like, I'm a big fan of if you trade options, and this is, we're about to get real nerdy here. There's a thing in trading traditional options called theta. It's a Greek, it's a number that plays into it, and it's known as time decay. The longer that you hold an options contract, the more money you actually lose. So if the price stays flat and you're on a call or a put and the price stays completely flat, the value of that option goes down because you're approaching an end date or a resolution date without anything happening. Most of the people that make money on options sell options. They are the house. They're the ones that optimize and win by time decay. On prediction markets, you have an interesting dynamic here that you can look into where you can basically bet on nothing happening. So this one market is one that I'm actually like a huge fan of, is Gemini 3.0 to be released by October 31st. I'm on the no. And there's a couple data points and reasons for it. They already are basically out right now. You can see there's basically no chance it releases by September 30th, right? For me, though, this is mispriced if this is such a hard no. Because the other factor of this is that Gemini just released Nano Banana, which is an AI model that's like taken all the rage. The likelihood that they now come out with an even bigger release, well, this is essentially being called like the largest photo and editing AI product that's ever been released, without it giving it its time and doing updates and edits, it's much slimmer than I think people realize. So a 40% gain on 60 cents is a 66% move. So what happens with this is as you continue to get closer to October 31st, this price will just continue to grind up because you're now witnessing nothing happening. You're now getting the edge of time decay, where as the market progresses closer to that resolution date, this no becomes significantly more likely. We're seeing it with this Lord Miles play as well, where this is the best chart for time decay. He's still doing the fast, so the chart every passing day goes up in price because the chance is more likely that he completes it as he gets closer to the finish line. So I'm very interested in these time-based markets, these event contracts, and I don't think this is the best one. It's literally called Nothing Ever Happens September. They do it every month where they have like it's like basically a parlay market where you can see nothing ever happened in August. Something happened. So right at the finish line, something happened here. So I don't know exactly what happened. Yeah, I'm not even sure, but I'd have to look into what happened with this one. So it gives you some stuff though. Like these are the factors for it. Ceasefire, 1 kilometer within Gaza's borders, Philadelphia corridor, all this other stuff here. But I don't care about these ones. It's just more the reality of these time markets where you can take advantage of just being patient, which I'm not good at. Everyone knows I'm not good at that. But with these markets, I'm not looking for 10x, 100x gains. So I'm comfortable with like my Gemini play here. I'm up 12%. Lord Miles up 12%. I'm on this will Israel raid the Gaza aid flotilla by September 30th. Kind of a crazy market to take, but I'm on the no purely because it's a short period of time. September 10th is still 6 days away, and it's already at 99% no. And the 15th is already at 80% no, but this one's at 18. So even if we get up to the 15th, the likelihood that this is closer to 40 cents is extremely high, purely off that, just based on time decay. So I've gone like really, really hard on these time decay markets because I think this is where the edge is to be had. Is yes, you're basically stuck waiting for announcements. Announcements can rock you and just ruin you on some of this stuff. But if you're comfortable taking 10, 20% gains on a lot of these markets, you can just continue to stack base hits without like terribly crazy risk. Like that Israel Gaza one, I have $300 in to win 2,200. And if we get to the 15th and that moves to 40 cents, that's $300 to $1,000. So I'm like, yeah, that's a great return. And that risk is very minimal comparatively. So I'm like all in on prediction markets, even though Polymarket's a bunch of scrubs and I hate them and UMA's terrible and I can't wait for my class action lawsuit. I'm very interested in this stuff. And it's across all markets. Like any time-based market is really interesting. Even for like Myriad, there was time-based markets for willfootball.fund generate 40 mil of volume. And you can just look at the average and break it down and start to get into that. And by that day, I think they finished with like 39.4. So it was close, but I felt good about that market. Even there, I have like, will Darth Vader's lightsaber sell for more than 3 mil? I'm on the no. And then I'm also on, will Lady Gaga sing in her cameo on the TV show Wednesday, which she has.
I like a lot of these. I think that for time decay, it's really interesting. I was getting in the time decay for no rate cuts, essentially, because I knew no rate cuts were going to come. But then announcements kind of like threw that off, like Jackson Hole, essentially threw that.
Yes.
That
Ray, what I did on that bet for the Jackson Hole one, because I could see it was moving in my direction. I did exactly what Easy was saying because I didn't like that Powell was giving the speech. And I was like, this could go either way. So I closed my position on that. Turned out I was wrong. So if I'd held it, I'm waiting for the next rate cut decision. But because you have this like important data point coming during his speech, I was like, I'm getting out. It's too risky to try to get to the decision. So Easy, what I'm basically saying is I like what you're doing here and how you're playing them, because I think it makes way more sense, especially when you have like sensitive data coming out that could affect the overall decision at the end.
Yeah.
And I think
the other thing for the rate cuts though is there's arbitrage markets where like there's a market right now that's will Feds cut rate in 2025 and it's at 95%. But then there's also will they cut once before October that's at like 89%. So you can kind of find these middles and almost arbitrage one versus the other and still net profit regardless.
Yeah, the one there that I don't like as a time decay play was the Lord Miles, because that's basically time decay until you lose. So that's like it's playing Russian roulette.
All of time decay until you lose, though. That's the reality of it. Is like
kind of, but the other ones, like at least you have like these like odds, like you're like, okay, well, 8% odds it happens in the next week. You're looking at those.
You have
numbers.
some path, yeah. Like the Gemini one, I'm looking at data. Like how likely is a company to announce a second major release of a product within 60 days? For a Fortune 500 company like Google, it's very slim. They move slow as shit. So it's like, just be realistic about some of these things. And when I saw that as a coin flip, the day that Nano Banana got released, I was like, okay, this feels like I'm leaving free money on the table by just realizing how traditional businesses operate. Is like they move slow.
And Easy, who creates these bets? Who is coming up
I don't
with?
know who makes the Polymarket ones, because there's a lot. I think that's one big issue with Polymarket is an oversaturation of markets. There's so many. Like if you look at Fed rates, so this is the one I was looking at this morning. There's just so many. Let me share my screen right here, because this is what's crazy to me. There's a whole Fed rates section, right? Just for September, Fed rates in September. How many Fed rate cuts in 2025? Will the Feds cut rates by? Will there be a Fed rate cut in 2025? So just for September, you have 4 different odds that could theoretically get you paid, which is just crazy to me.
Yeah, that's weird. No, because I was thinking about the Taylor Swift one, because I was like, that's really interesting. Like I wanted to know who came up with that, because her whole engagement and when they're going to get married, that's always kind of been, well, as soon as they started dating, people started talking about it, but it seemed to have become a real thing like very much more recently. And I just felt like I would like to understand when these bets come out versus when the actual result comes out. Because if this has been around for like the entire year, great. But if it came out recently, just like, well, it's kind of not a coincidence that she got married and it came out.
The Taylor Swift one was out in February because we talked about it as a joke. So I gotta find someone to find that clip because there's an old video of us talking about the Taylor Swift marriage, saying we need someone in Travis Kelce's camp to let us know if they're gonna get engaged.
Easy will give away a Gaga to you if you find that clip.
If you can find the clip of us talking about the Taylor Swift engagement from, I want to say it was January to March, somewhere in there, there's 60 episodes. Find one with kicks on it because that's probably when it happened because we never talked prediction markets unless he was on the show. That is the one. But we talked about the marriage market for Taylor Swift because we were like, this is crazy that they have all this stuff. But there's interesting stuff. Like the whole culture section is very interesting to me. And truthfully, that's where I like find the most enjoyment trading a lot of those markets. The movie stuff is really hard, to be honest. Yeah, and someone asked, is it Polymarket or people? It's Polymarket that puts these up. They have a team. That was before the Super Bowl because that was the rumor that it was the Chiefs won. Oh, yeah, so it was before February. So January sometime was he would propose at the Super Bowl if they won. So if you can find it in January, early February, you get a Bodago. But there's markets that I'm just interested in general is like, I really like the time decay ones. Because yes, it's one event completely screws you on it. But if you can just take a market and trade it, there's an opportunity there for you to just find gains. And then like, I like these markets too. Like this one is on Myriad. I'm on this. Will Darth Vader's lightsaber sell for more than 3 mil? Because you can use data and like you can go and look at the auction house and figure out like the last highest Star Wars item that sold was the X-Wing that sold for $3.2 million. And there's an argument to be made that the X-Wing being a bigger product, Star Wars being more time relevant at the time of sale, that's why it sold for more. And you can even go and look at the resolution, which is Prop Store auction that they link you to because they link all their resolution sources. Their estimates between 1 and 3 mil. So unless it shatters their estimates with, if you understand auctions, it's not very likely unless it's a super rare item, then it should fall right within line. So that's why I'm like,
I feel like that's a yes. I feel like that's a yes.
It just takes 2 Star Wars fans with big budgets to
exactly.
To really, which one is this? Return of the Jedi. So it's multiple movies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Empire.
okay.
It's Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
So do we have any data on A New Hope? His lightsaber in A New Hope? Do we see a lightsaber?
I don't think that one sold.
Yeah, let me check that out. Vader lightsaber, A New.
But that's the fun part about some of these markets, especially the cultural ones, is like this was the other one that I really liked was will Lady Gaga sing in her premiere on the show Wednesday, which is like kind of crazy. But she hasn't released new music in a while. Wednesday is technically a musical TV show as they do song and dance. So like there's a pretty high likelihood that she ends up singing. And I got in, where did I get in? I think it shows my odds somewhere. I don't know. Oh yeah, I took yes at 70 cents. So they just closed the market, but I got in. Where's 70? Like back here. Yeah, August 28th. So I've been holding it for like a week just because I saw it ended on yesterday. It concluded when the show released. So I was like, okay, this one feels good. But sometimes it's just about using your brain, and you're not going to be right every time. It is gambling, but yeah.
So is it a yes or a no on the Lady Gaga one?
Yeah, she sang. They just haven't.
She sang, yeah.
She sang, yeah.
Because
she
I feel
she released a new song in the episode.
There you go. Because in my head, I was like, that has to be a yes. Because why would you cast Lady Gaga and not use her voice? Otherwise, you cast somebody cheaper, right?
In a show that has singing moments multiple times.
Exactly. Oh, this is fun. Okay, I'm going to get into this a bit more because I haven't done anything since the interest rate cut, which was pretty bland, to be honest. I don't really want to do any more of those. But I'm going to find some cultural ones.
My stress level is so low. That's the biggest thing. Like, I don't have to stare at these charts 24/7. Yeah,
I saw your portfolio, Easy, your cash versus portfolio going through these. So you have to be invested in so many of these. Dude, this was another one where if you were smart, you'd absolutely have printed on this. This is the one Easy crashed out about. But this is like a no-brainer that this was going to be a no looking at it. Between August 26th and September 1st, they basically announced every single Monday.
The second was when it was reported, though.
Right, because Monday was a U.S. holiday.
Yeah.
And if you were looking at it and you're like, okay, well, they're not going to announce it during a U.S. holiday, then
the argument that can be made though is if you go to Michael Saylor's page, he posted the chart with the buy bubble during that.
Yeah,
week.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know.
So
exactly
he literally has the buy in there showing that he did buy during those days, but the announcement was the fine line, which is fucking annoying.
Right. Yeah. So like if you're reading if you like really like if you just find markets that are interesting to you, read the description really well and like just come up with these theses, because this thing like was sitting at a yes at 72% for yes for a while. And if you said, okay, well, like maybe they don't announce because of the US holiday, you would have been scot-free. But yeah, reading the resolution guidelines is probably the biggest, most important thing you can do, and really understanding them. Yeah, because if Monday wasn't a holiday, this would have been a yes for sure.
Yeah, they would have been announced Monday.
Guaranteed it. Yeah, would have guaranteed it. We have some other interesting news. I didn't really follow along with what happened with this one, Easy. Do you know what happened with the Gainzy token yesterday?
He fat fingered.
So he fat fingered and sold. Is this his candle here?
That's what he says. Fat fingered and sold, and then there was a bunch of drama.
$8 million worth of volume over that 4-hour period. I feel like I'm not going to give people the benefit of the doubt on something like this, right?
It's tough to say. There was 2 people that bought the Pico bottom and made like 400K. So it's like really tough to be like one way or the other on this thing. You know what I mean?
Here? Is this his sale here? 170K. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there was one that made like 440. You can probably find it if you just search like the Gainzy stream ticker on X, but it's not even worth it. I don't know. He says he's talking to Pump Fund about how to resolve this, and it's going to cost him a bunch of money, and he sent tokens to market makers. I don't know.
Yeah, because he can't really like, and people are like, why not just buy back the? Yes, it's probably him. Like, why not buy back the token? Which he did, but when you do that after you drop the price and people like are back in, like you're not going to be able to buy as much token as you had before.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
you
think
won't get even close to it.
Yeah, I think this is his wallet. It looks like he was just clipping in a bunch over time after the sell.
These mishaps always seem to happen with the figures who are the most controversial anyway. Like they already have a bit of a, I don't know, there's always like a tilt to them. And then on top of that, this kind of misclicks always happen. I'm just saying it just never feels like a real coincidence. It's never like a person who is considered to be like, I don't know, ethical within the space, and they're the ones who are misclicking. I feel like this is kind of one of these Occam's razor situation where the simplest explanation is always the right one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's just like, I don't give a shit. As bad as it sounds, I don't give a shit. Like, is it odd that a fat finger happened immediately after the CCM meta was piss hot and all these coins were all-time high? Yeah, sure. Do I think Gainzy's dumb enough to do that and kind of ruin this thing he's had going where he's getting more traction and more motion? No. Gainzy's not an idiot. Like, I do like Gainzy. I do think that he's a very intelligent person. And I don't think he's dumb enough to do that and get himself in hot water for no reason. Like, for me, that's why I'm like, I lean on the side of it was an accident. The dude's old as shit, just like me, or boomers. I hold the iPad with big font up directly against my nose just to see what people are saying. So it happens. Like, you fucked up. He's trying to remedy the situation. If he really did this, he would have nuked it and left.
Like, yeah, I mean, there's only 180K.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it seems off. Something seems off there. Let's see what we got. Other news. We saw Pump Fund flip Hyperliquid for daily revenue on the back of the creator announcements. Pump Fund and the Pump token are up big, back over pre-sale price now. Let's take a look over at the
it's
the
flying
fees
this morning.
Let's take a look over at the Pump price here. Pump still above Hyperliquid in 24-hour revenue, $2.5 million to Hyperliquid's $2.4 million. Over the last 7 days, Hyperliquid's at 19 million, Pump is at 12 million. So we saw a big day with the Mitch token and the kind of creator meta with these new fees. Pump token pretty much up. Look at the hourly chart on this. Damn. This is a good looking chart here, just up only from a bottom of 2.6 billion on August 25th, so not even 2 weeks ago, basically up only and now back over to a 4.4 billion FDV. Pump just like continuing to cement itself as the go-to platform here. I mean, this is crazy. 4 straight daily green candles, 8 of the last 10 days have been in the green for Pump. Do they continue this run? Oh, I guess Easy's gone. I looked
Easy's gone. No, I think they do, Ray. I really think they do. It's I was looking at the Coinbase article that came out about the index that they want to going to be releasing on the 22nd of September, which has the Mag 7, the Coinbase stock, and then it has crypto exposure. And so that's going to be the Bitcoin ETF and the Ethereum ETF. And I was looking at that and I was like, okay, actually, makes sense as basically outperforming. Like if you want to outperform the entire market, just take the Mag 7 and the Bitcoin ETFs. Obviously, they threw their own stock in there, and you should basically outperform most other things. I was thinking, actually, totally makes sense. But I was looking at the Bitcoin side. Sorry, I was looking at the crypto side, and I was like, there's stuff missing. Like, just think, like 2 years from now, it just doesn't seem like the only ETFs which will be out there will be Bitcoin and Ethereum. I just don't think that's what the landscape is going to look like in 2 years. And if you were going to put together an index of other ETFs, I mean, starting now, I don't mean waiting for like regulation to go in. I really feel like you would want some other big names in there. Obviously, Solana would be the most obvious one to come to mind. But it just feels like if you're doing it outside of crypto and you're thinking in your head, how do I put together a portfolio of things? You just need to have the pump.fund token in there, because that's going to be your exposure to the Memecoin market overall. I think it still goes up, to answer your question.
I mean, honestly, I think ETH is like a weird inclusion in this. I think this is probably should be Mag 7 plus Mag 7 plus Bitcoin. Just go at a steady 8 here. Ethereum being in this is a little odd to me, because I think it's weird to compare Ethereum to all of these companies. Bitcoin is in the league with these companies in terms of total market cap. Ethereum is not. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I kind of disagree on that, because if you continue that thread of thought, then the crypto market doesn't expand, because you're looking for the best. This is the best, the 7 best performing stocks. Excluding Coinbase, obviously. I don't want to include Coinbase in that, but the crypto side is going to expand. So whether Ethereum is included now or it's included in 6 months from now, them being part of that portfolio, for me, 100% makes sense, because you're not thinking about what does the landscape look today. You're thinking about what will the landscape look in 3 to 4 years' time. So if Ethereum is not included in there, having gone through all the regulation, all the hoops, jumped through all of that, plus everything that's happened this year, it's finally got momentum. It's clear it's going to be one of the best performing assets of this year.
Yeah, but that kind of, I mean, it falls more. I mean, I guess it's still like large cap. You're sitting at 530 billion, but like, would you put Netflix in that Mag 7? I understand that, like, yes, Ethereum can continue to run, and we believe it will, but I feel like it just fits more into like a mid cap, like high upside portfolio. Same thing with, like, you would put like an Ethereum, a Solana, like an Avalanche, a Sui, maybe a Pump. Like, it'd be like a smaller cap, higher risk, higher reward portfolio. So
wait, are you talking about a regulated portfolio, like what Coinbase have done, or are you talking about what we can do, which is to add anything?
I'm talking more. Yeah, well, I'm looking at this. I mean, my initial take was that ETH just looks out of place here. Like, it's just not in the same league. And like you were saying, like, okay, well, like one of these regulated portfolios should include Pump Fund. And I agree. And I think like ETH would be in that basket as well, like with smaller cap, higher upside tokens. Like if we go to Coinmarket, you can essentially, be like throw an Ethereum, a BNB, a Solana, a Doge, Tron, Link, Hyperliquid, and that's like the mid cap, like, risk from crypto. I don't think you can compare those companies to like a Google, Nvidia, et cetera, at this point.
Yeah, but that's where the growth is, like at this point. So I like Ethereum needs to have more growth for it to be in the same, from your point of view, to be in that magic circle. On the unregulated portfolio side, I would say I would agree with you that I would probably allocate less to it. I wouldn't have it like as proportionally set at 10% like the rest of them are. If that portfolio is completely balanced, I wouldn't have Ethereum like a balanced portfolio with Ethereum being the same side as my Hyperliquid. But on the regulated side, I would.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I'm taking a lot of heat in the comments for this, but I mean, ETH is a quarter of the market cap of Bitcoin, less than a quarter of the market cap of Bitcoin. Like, yes, I'm bullish ETH. I'm not. Don't get me wrong, I'm bullish ETH, but like, it's a riskier asset by orders of magnitude than Bitcoin. So like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's just the facts. All the people in the comments, Kashmir and Blake, like, I am bullish Ethereum. I think it does have upside. I just think that I'm talking about these portfolios from the sense of like Tradfi looking at this, and it's just weird to put an Ethereum, which is like a quarter of the market cap of all these other companies, in that same basket. It's just like, it just feels like an odd inclusion.
I just think we need to get through this period. Like, we need to get through this period where, because other large ETFs with different cryptocurrencies won't be passed on to retail. If retail isn't comfortable with just Bitcoin and Ethereum, how do you get anyone to buy anything else if you can't get them to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum? And I'm talking like crypto that will be in people's pensions. I'm not talking crypto that you go and, buy on Coinbase or Robinhood and you can just like buy and trade whenever. So like, that's the hurdle. Can it get into somebody's pensions portfolio? Like, Ethereum needs to be in there. Otherwise, nothing else is.
Well, outside of Bitcoin, you're saying?
Outside of Bitcoin, yeah. After Bitcoin, Ethereum needs to be in there. Otherwise, nothing else is.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen we're definitely seeing more institutional adoption on Ethereum. You're at $13 billion of net inflows of Ethereum ETFs, and you're sitting at 54 billion. So basically, same ratio, a quarter of the inflows on Ethereum for Bitcoin in terms of total numbers. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree completely that Ethereum is a good asset and it's going to go up. I just think it's just odd. Odd to be in there right now. I mean, I think it will belong in that category soon, but I just don't know if we're going to see that the next year, to be honest. Outside of that, we had this troll news, Easy. They acquired the IP rights to the underlying troll meme. I thought this was kind of a nothing burger, but I think you were saying on your show that you thought this was pretty big. Like, what's going on here, and why do you like this move from Troll?
I mean, it's just an IP play. Like, they now have the rights to the IP. Like, for me, that's big. Like, that's a good sign. I don't know. I look at it and I'm like, yeah, this just opens up a lot of opportunity.
Interesting. Troll likes it. I mean, the buyers like it. This thing bounced off a bottom a couple days ago. Now is over 200 million, up 25% on the day, continuing to run. You think Troll hits all-time highs here in the next?
I do.
2 weeks.
I do.
All right. So Troll hits all-time highs. What is that going to do for the challenge with you and Clemente? Clemente's. Oh, you're in the green, Easy. Let's go.
Yeah. He still fucking loses. Like,
Troll is up. Troll's the only token that's up for Clemente.
Yeah, dude, look at Docker. Docker's down like 65%. The dude's fucked.
Dude, you just can't hold like any like met like that's the thing with meme coins. Like, he's like, okay, these meme coins are strong because it's the current meta, but current metas last like 1 week tops. Yeah. Like for like these weird like flash in the pan things. Like, abstract memes have been a little more sticky. He has God down 50% still, but Docker was like the leading like growth meme for Zora. Now down well over 50% down. I think like 60% overall, $800 from 2K. Yeah, Easy in the positive, winning, beating out Bitcoin by a fair margin. Gotta love this feeling. You're basically being led by Pump on the huge run. Green for Pump, green for Hype, green for Link, and then you're down slightly on Athena and Litecoin.
Athena's chart looks good though. That's why for me it was like, I mean, I'm outpacing Bitcoin too. That's the thing, is like my alt basket here was, you're better off holding this than you were holding Bitcoin.
I think that's going to continue to be the case throughout the rest of this year.
So yeah, it felt good. I was like, to be brutally honest, I was never worried. Like, I saw his picks for these memes and I was like, if Tokabu and Troll were the two that just like Giga sent, sure. But I was never sitting here like, oh man, I'm in danger. Like, I don't know.
Kashmir is just in the comments right now, just blasting me for this ETH take. He is the biggest ETH maxi of all time. I mean, I love ETH too, and I think it's going to get an increased adoption. We keep talking about stable coins and like that's the killer app in crypto, and that's what everyone's pointing to. I mean, also be worried that all these chains are launching their own stablecoin chains, their own L1s, not on Ethereum. You got Tron launching chains, you've got Stripe, you've got USDC Circle launching their own chain. So there's going to be migration off of Ethereum onto other chains where they're not going to be able to capture as much of the stablecoin yield over there. Casimir, stablecoins are not the killer of NTN. I mean, stablecoins right now are the sole use case for crypto and TradFi. Like that is it right now. You have like small things that are happening. You're having tokenization of real world assets. That's in its infancy, but right now it's really just stablecoins are the killer use case. So I'll throw some shade back at your Ethereum bullishness, Kashmir, on that side. But like I said, I'm still an Ethereum bull, but I know that there are other risks and there are issues with Ethereum as well.
No, the TradFi use case for crypto right now is yield.
Yeah, and that comes through stablecoins.
No, so if they want that exposure, they have to go to the stock market. If they want actual crypto returns and yield, they have to buy Ethereum. That's two different things.
What are you talking about? I mean, you can have stablecoins backed by just T-bills.
I'm saying that so you're saying that the use case for Ethereum right now is stablecoins, right? So they would have to go, for TradFi. So they would have to go to the stock market and buy Circle. But then Circle is being analyzed as a stock, right? So they look at all the parameters of how does Circle look like versus all the other stocks out there. It's not being analyzed as a cryptocurrency. So the yield, the return will always be different to what Ethereum is. So what I'm saying is that TradFi is looking for yield. So they'll go to Ethereum. They're not going to go to Circle.
Oh, I think TradFi is going to try to capture the yield and avoid having to deal with Ethereum at some point. Like they're going to realize like, oh, like the yield on Ethereum, like why would I not just issue my own L1? Why would I not issue my own stablecoin, back it by T-bills, earn the yield myself and pass it along? Because right now they're trying to argue, like the governments are trying to legislate so that you can't offer yield for crypto products. Like banks are actively pushing that if you have a stablecoin, like you can't offer yield, because that's something that's going to like really dig into their pocketbooks right now, because people would say like, why would I open up a CD with XYZ bank when I can earn more with liquid crypto stablecoins?
I understand your perspective, but I just think like looking at the next 12 months, not having Ethereum, like the Ethereum ETF, as a driver for why the whole entire industry will move up. Like when all boats, when a tide goes up, everything kind of goes up with it. I think not including Ethereum in that is a mistake for the next 12 months. Well, what you're saying for the next maybe 3-4 years, I agree. But for the next 12 months, that's what TradFi will be looking for.
Yeah, I mean, looking for like buy Ethereum for price go up, you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, I agree 100%. Like I think Ethereum price goes up. I think the narratives continue to push, but I think there are issues that need to be like looked at. Like there are bull cases. That's why ETH hasn't just been up only since like it's been pushed. We've seen a little resistance and pullback here at the like all-time high levels. I think we went pretty deep into that. We're going to cut the show a little bit early here. I'm going to run through some quick hitters over the last 24 hours. If you want to get these updates daily to your inbox, subscribe over at dailybones.com. We publish this newsletter Monday through Saturday, Saturday being an update on the previous week. You get all this news right into your inbox every day. Kicking it off, Brian Armstrong mandated Coinbase engineers that they have to master AI coding assistants or they're going to be kicked out the door. So Coinbase going heavy into AI for efficiency. Ondo Finance tokenized over 100 US stocks and ETFs. That's a big win for Ethereum, Kashmir. The US Federal Reserve announced they're having a conference on payments innovation that's going to discuss AI, stablecoins, and tokenization of financial products. The Ukraine Parliament passed a bill, the first reading of a bill legalizing and taxing crypto. Gemini filed for the IPO. We talked about that earlier. $2.2 billion valuation there. We have Sui Group Holdings. This is formerly Mill Ventures. They announced a $344 million purchase of Sui for their treasury. Alpha Ton Capital Group, they secured financing to purchase $100 million worth of Ton tokens. And speaking of Telegram, they added a feature to make it easy to send digital collectibles as well. I haven't really paid attention to that market, but there is a market for Ton digital collectibles. It's like pretty crazy out there. It's the one I have to dive deeper into. Bitmine acquired another 358 worth of Ethereum. Some on-chain sleuths picked up that buy. They now have $8.69 billion worth. A fresh wallet swept more than $2 million worth of CryptoPunks yesterday, and GameSquare Holdings announced a $2 million partnership with Rekt Brands as OSF teased a new Rekt Drink. Easy. What are we thinking for this Rekt Drink? Do we think this is a monad? It's this little purple one here.
It's MoonPay. It's MoonPay.
Oh, MoonPay. Yeah.
They if you go to the MoonPay Twitter page, they have it. It was like I saw it yesterday. They either retweeted it or they did something, but I remember seeing it yesterday.
They made a Rekt guy their PFP.
Yeah, there you go.
Love it. That's sick. That'll be a good one. Yeah, show me like a grape or something. That'd be cool.
I really like the OpenSea ones. They're wicked good.
Yeah, I've been going through that case. I haven't opened the abstract apple. I got the abstract apple back there. I got the OpenSea.
So I would say I have them, but I finished all of them.
I'm being really stingy with mine.
I've drank all of them.
I put them all in my fridge so that when I opened my drinks fridge, it looked really cool. But then like people kept drinking them. And now they're going. So I've taken them out of the fridge and hidden them in another cupboard because they are really good to drink. Like on a hot day with some ice, some lemon.
Yeah, I've been absolutely crushing them. Shout out to the guys over there. Shout out to Yeet. Love the crew over there at Rug Radio, Rekt, all the above. That's gonna do it for today's show, though. I've got to run. I've got someone taking pictures of my house. Thank you all for listening. It's been a wonderful Thursday. You can catch us Monday through Friday. We'll be here every weekday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Watch us on all major podcasting platforms. You can catch us on YouTube if you want to watch us that way. See what we're talking about in real time.